Drew, man, I got to start. That was an incredible race. Just talk me through how you're feeling right now. The story of all so close, or you got so much to be proud of there.
Yeah, I really do. Obviously, I wanted to get top 3. I wasn't qualifying for the Olympics today, but for me, this was more about like just conquering my own self-doubt that I could compete with those guys. And that's what I did. I just kept saying, just keep fighting, don't give an inch. If you die, that's okay, but just like fight all the way to the end and show people that you belong in that conversation again. So yeah, I mean, it's bittersweet, but it's my second 10K ever, so I feel like there's a good future there.
I feel like you were kind of tasked with the job a few times to pick up the moves and try and bring the pack forward. Sort of, was that something you were anticipating, or how did you handle that in your second ever 10K?
Yeah, I wanted to be like out the back. That was kind of my race strategy. It was so hot. It wasn't as bad in the stadium, but I just thought a lot of people were going to suffer. And then when Connor took it out kind of quick, I was like, oh man, I even want to be farther back just because I felt like I could really pick up a lot of the, guys that would come back off the pace. So I felt like I raced it as best I could. Obviously, I led a lot, chase pack, but I was staying relaxed as much as you can, and I feel like I raced my hardest and did everything I could. I mean, there's really nothing I look back on and I'm disappointed about other than not getting top 3, but that's okay. I've got a good life.
Those top 3 guys were all sub-27 guys. What told you coming in that you thought you could compete with them?
Myself. I just, man, I have been the worst with just self-talk the last few years. I just have no faith in my abilities up until this year, and I just worked on that, and I just kept telling myself, you can run with Grant, you can run with Nico, you can run with Woody, and on paper I shouldn't be able to. And so you really, the body follows your mind, and I just really believed. And I mean, I was there. It's there. I know it's there. And so like I said, I'm getting over mental barriers in my head, and that's really important to me.
I think when we spoke at the Boston 5K around Boston Marathon weekend, you didn't seem interested in running this race at the trials. Like, what changed that made you want to do it?
Yeah, I think I talked a lot with my parents, and last few years I couldn't train like a 5K, 10K runner. I had so many health issues that I just couldn't train that way. I think naturally that's what I'm best at, but I was kind of forced into the box of the 1500 because I just couldn't stay healthy. And so this year we figured things out in the fall, and I just really took to running more miles. And like I said, I really think like my best races are the 5 and the 10. I just haven't been able to do them the last few years because of health stuff. So I feel like I'm just getting my feet wet. Obviously everyone says that, but I know how everyone in that field trains, and I know how I've trained the last few years, and I know I have a ton more to give than just what that performance was. So I'm excited for the future.
What did you figure out in the fall?
What'd you say?
What did you figure out in the fall?
I just had a lot of breathing stuff that I was working through, and I had back spasms basically anytime I did any more than 2 or 3 miles of work in practice. So I just couldn't run any sort of volume. And so I was just like, let's run the 1500 off of 200s and 300s and see how good we can get. And I'm such an aerobic runner, so I even sucked at that. So for me, I just had to really work on my stamina and work on my endurance. And yeah, that was pretty much what I just had to focus on. And I mean, I can get through a 10K on the track now, and the guys who beat me, one of them's gonna medal probably, so I don't know. Maybe, hopefully Grant.
In the marathon, they have this quota reallocation system where top 3 can go at the trials, even if you don't have the standard. Do you think that should come to track events, or do you think the qualifying system as it is fair and the right way it should go?
Yeah, I mean, I think for countries like the U.S., probably, I feel like they should just take top 3, whoever, because, it's one of the hardest teams to make, but I'm not going to be able to understand or fix the sport. I mean, I knew I probably wasn't making the team today. It was a 5% chance if we ran the standard and I got top 3, or a million guys scratched the 10K and I filled in the quota. This is only my second 10, so technically I'm just now in the points quota for the first time. So yeah, but it's weird to think that an Olympic year feels like me building for the next year, but that's how I feel about this year. I've PR'd and everything, and I think I can just keep getting so much better. And yeah, so I'm just itching to get back to some rest and then hitting the 5 in a few days. So yeah.
Looking towards the future, what do you think you can accomplish in the 10K, especially on the world stage?
I don't know. I mean, I just think I want to be I look at Grant, Nico, and Woody, and I'm like, I should be right there with them, and I was close today. So, yeah, just making teams. I just want a USA kit and something before I'm done. So, yeah, for me, that's kind of how I feel about, I just know if I keep continuing doing what I'm doing, staying healthy, I know I can, figure out a lot over the 10K distance.
Yeah, obviously the heat was pretty hot today. Were you grabbing water at all during your race, or were you just...
No, my mouth was so dry, like a K into the race, and I was like, oh gosh, I was just like licking my lips the whole time. But, everyone races in the same conditions. We prepared for this. We did lots of workouts at 90 degrees in the Boulder heat, and so I knew I was ready for that.
Just to touch on quickly, when you started this, you said it's okay to have a good life. That separation now from what you do and performance-wise on the track compared to how you're living your life and the beautiful things you have around you. How important is that differentiation for you now?
Yeah, I mean, I have a family now. Yeah. I have a daughter, another one on the way. So
congratulations.
So for me, I can't have all my stuff in running. Like, I get home from practice and I have the best family. My wife's amazing. My daughter's literally perfect. Like, she sleeps through the night. Like, she knows I'm a track athlete and behaves amazingly. I mean, they're here. I'm staying with them. I know most athletes wouldn't do that. Like, I talk to other guys that have kids. They're like, hell no, my wife's not out here. Their baby's back. I'm sleeping. And I was just like, no, this is a family affair. This is how I run is only so little. If I'm not good to my wife and daughter. So for me, I just want to spend as much time possible with them, and it makes running just put in its rightful place.
Yeah. What are some things you've learned since becoming a husband and a dad, and soon to be a dad of two? What are some things that are translated maybe across to how you approach running differently or life in general? Yeah,
just for me, I like something I've learned so much this year is I'm so much calmer, because reacting like harshly to anything is the worst. When Ella's screaming and everything, like the worst thing I can do is get frustrated or show my emotions, and I feel like I've kind of tried to translate that to my running as well, where you can ask my teammates, like, I'm the chillest dude at practice now. I used to be super high strung, like every drill has to be perfect, and I was just such a perfectionist for that stuff, and I was like, that's not even helping, like, just relax and enjoy what you're doing. And I feel like I've kind of used that from being a dad, and just has translated into my running and performance. Like, I'm the least nervous guy on the starting line. I really am. Like, I used to get so nervous, and now I'm just kind of out there like, all right, I gotta feed the family, so let's go compete.
100%. Hey, well done, Drew. There you go.
Thank you.